distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Day 3 of Africa Business Ethics Conference 2020. As we conclude this event that will kickstart the needed change and transformation, let us bear in mind that today's focus shall be the building block of anti-corruption efforts that requires strong personal ethics. This discussion will focus on the interplay between personal ethics and the larger community.
Companies have left because they cannot operate here. I remember a few years ago, one of the big freight companies, an American company, had to leave because of the American corruption laws, the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act. And I remember the newspaper article said, given the introduction of the FCPA in the US, which applies worldwide, they can no longer operate in Nigeria. That is an indictment on our country, that an international company that was doing good business in Nigeria, hiring hundreds of Nigerians, had to leave because they could see no way to operate in Nigeria and still keep to the letter of the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act. They have essentially told us that it is impossible.
Well, there are several reasons, because it's become systemic and it's almost becoming like a culture. And sometimes the efforts to address the issues are more cosmetic and do not go to the root of the problem. It's kind of, being institutionalized.
It's cheaper for you to import a car into Benin Republic and then drive it through a porous border. Interestingly, for about 3 years in the last maybe 6 years, Benin Republic has been importing more cars than the whole of Nigeria. And you ask yourself, we've got 11 million cars on the roads of Nigeria. I don't know what the population of Benin Republic is in total, but to import 200,000 to 300,000 vehicles into Benin Republic, you need to ask yourself the questions, where are those cars ending up? And if they're ending up in Nigeria, then there must be somebody or a group of people who are helping those cars that have bypassed, the borders and the border controls and paying duty, help them get the licenses. Because those cars would have come in without paying duty or without paying the correct duty, but they still got licensed. Somebody or a group of people are benefiting from it.
On the shipping side, a lot of shipping companies recycle their vessels, changing the names of the vessels after a number of years and bring them back in under temporary importation process without good records. Nigeria needs to liaise with the global body, the IMO and Lloyd's in London, and make sure that this stops. That calls NIMASA out. That calls the Customs Service out to address this specifics, because Nigeria is losing a lot of revenue that would have been paid to government as full duty and is rather made as a temporary importation. That is corruption against the government itself.
As we come to the end of this noble event, the LCCI is hosting this conference to develop a white paper for government, the private sector, and civil society organizations to learn more about how multi-stakeholder collaboration can effectively address the menace of corruption in the various spheres of the country's economic and developmental sectors. Therefore, urging the general public to look out for this white paper and never let this conversation leave the front burner. We must tackle the challenges and get plugged into the efforts to minimize corruption. It starts with us as individuals, then it flows into the society through our organizations, the public institutions, the civil society, and beyond.